I got to say this, okay? I probably never said this before, but I got to go on record and say this. Tesla stock's possibly the most manipulated stock in the entire stock market. This is a company I personally own, right? There's no doubt this is likely one of the most manipulated stocks I've ever seen in the market. It is insane how manipulated this stock is in the short term, in my opinion. So many people playing this from so many different sides, on the upside, the downside. The moves are so unnatural many times in Tesla, right? And so this is one of the most manipulated stocks in the market that people love to try to manipulate certain ways, certain directions. Sometimes it's on the downside, and that's why you see Tesla make these ridiculous downward moves that it's like, how did Tesla go down that much? It doesn't even make sense. Like, it's ridiculous, right? How did Tesla go to $100? It's just stupid. Like, what are we talking about here, right? And you might say, well, how did Tesla go to 400 a couple years ago, right? That's also was ridiculous at that point in time, given where the company was, right? This company is one of the most manipulated in terms of the stock price. The gamma squeezes, all this stuff. Oh my gosh, okay? It's one of the most, if not the most manipulated stock in the market, in my personal opinion, on a short-term basis. And, you look at a day like today, and all of a sudden, around lunchtime or so, or just before lunch, the next thing you know, Tesla makes this insane move from under 198 all the way to 208. There's no news there. There's nothing that came out, right? That's a $10 a share move. That's a very, very large move. This is a very, very heavily manipulated stock. And so when it comes to, these stocks in the market, right, just understand, when it comes to a short-term basis, you might think you got it, but you likely don't, okay? And they'll manipulate things other ways that you never saw coming. And, I went through this. I thought I could outsmart Wall Street, okay? This was in 2015. Keep in mind, I had a super successful track record of long-term investing, focusing on companies for the next several years, making these investments, Monster, Cabela's, Trinity Industries. I had all these stocks that were just banger after banger after banger, okay? And I got a little too full of myself, and I thought I could start outsmarting Wall Street. So what I started to do is it was kind of like, I think, mid to late 2014 and going into 2015. I set up a margin, my account for margin, and then I started doing earnings trades because I thought I could outsmart Wall Street, because I knew with pretty good, I followed companies so closely that I basically kind of knew if they were going to beat or miss on their earnings, okay? And so I started playing these option bets, not option bets, like margin bets essentially, and margin out money on stocks, and putting like $100,000 in a stock because I'm like, I know this company is going to beat. They're going to beat on revenue, beat on EPS. And they'd come in with their beats and the stock price would go down because of one reason or another. It was all manipulated crap. And I'm just like, seriously? And I would lose $10,000 in a day. And that was a ton of money for me back in those days. $5,000 in a day, $7,000 in a day. And I'm like, how is this happening? Like, my company just killed it. This company killed it on earnings. And it was one reason or another. It was like, oh, the guidance wasn't quite there. This margin number was off. Whatever they could use as an excuse. And next thing you know, I lose, a bunch of money on that next day. And it was like, seriously, man, just understand, you're playing anything from a short-term perspective. You are a player in the casino. You are the sucker. You are the sucker, 100%, okay? Just understand that. You either own the casino or you're a player in the casino. What do you want to be, okay? I'd much rather own the casino than be the player. That's like, the one has a big building and one doesn't, okay? That's all I'll say about that.